Good evening, everyone. I'm StormTrack 5 Meteorologist Kit Alexander. Just wanted to give you a quick update with all the latest weather. So, a couple of interesting facts here that's happening. And I did some research on it and a little bit of digging, and I found out that just a couple days ago, when the United States had about 45% snow coverage, so that was the highest amount since back in 2005. That's about 20 years ago. For kind of those of us just keeping score here. Also, that's more than double the snow in the United States that we had last year. So if we go ahead and fast forward and talk about what we see right now, we're down to about 38% coverage. But I show you all this because we're getting ready to have a little bit more snow, at least in parts of the area and parts of the United States for tonight. So here's a look at the current map. Like I said, we have about 38% snow coverage. We can zoom into the Tri-Cities area. Pretty much what little bits left is mainly in parts of Southwest Virginia and points north and east. But with that in mind, we do have winter weather advisories in place for parts of Southwest Virginia and East Tennessee. We're expecting the potential, at least in the lower elevation areas of these counties, back into Johnson, Carter, and Unicoi, at least in some spots where we could be looking at maybe upwards of an inch of additional snow by tonight, tomorrow total, mind you. So between tonight and tomorrow, an additional inch of snow is possible in these locations, hence the reason why the Weather Service has given us the winter weather advisories. For the Tri-Cities, and especially the lowest elevations, like 1,500 feet, 1,600 feet, it's going to take it a while before that transition from rain to snow actually occurs. And for some of us, like Kingsport, it may or may not happen. I'm thinking we will eventually see a transition over to some snowflakes, but it may be tomorrow evening before that happens. Definitely going to vary by location. So the bigger picture and perspective just shows us that we have a big old dip in the jet stream. And the more that we keep having this typical winter pattern just setting up here with a combination of stratospheric warming, which has weakened the polar vortex, among other things, it's keeping us in a winter-like pattern. Now, I do want to show you Wednesday, just because we'll see just a brief break in the real coldest of the air right before the weekend, before that Arctic air really sets up. And it's going to feel like January regardless for this week. Here's a look at future satellite, just showing that weather system as it moves in tonight and tomorrow. Johnson City right now, 41 degrees, not too bad outside. You'll see temperatures generally fall through the 30s for tonight. Rain chances in the Tri-Cities, eventually turning over to some snow activity possible by tomorrow morning into the afternoon. For some of the lower elevations, eventually transitioning over. Like I said, some of us, it may take longer than others. I think somewhere around the airport, Bristol and so forth, that transition will likely take place sometime tomorrow morning. It could be as late as 10 and 11 o'clock or so, or maybe even a little bit later, but eventually the colder air will win out. Overnight lows tonight will be in the low to mid 30s. That number is critical to what you're going to see tomorrow. 39 degrees for a high in the Tri-Cities, and because of this weather maker, we keep severe threat tracker medium. So if we broaden out the perspective, what you're going to notice is a cold front that's off to the west. We had those mild temperatures today. We hit 57 degrees. We won't be making that tomorrow, not by a long shot. In fact, I think we'll get stuck in the upper 30s. So if we time things out, notice that the precip will start to move in for tonight. I say around 4:30, 5 o'clock. We're going to start noticing some of that scattered rain. Some of the scattered snow showers move in as well, but you see the colder pockets of air to the north and west. Then eventually, as we see that transition over to snowfall, it's going to be with those temperatures as the temperatures begin to fall by tomorrow, especially in the afternoon and evening. Then that moisture wraps up for Tuesday night. Looks like we'll see a return to partly cloudy skies by Tuesday afternoon, maybe a few lingering clouds for Tuesday morning. So bringing this down just real quickly by elevation, you see that for the Tri-Cities, well, I guess this graphics decided it's going to take a break for tonight. But anyway, what this was showing just a couple hours ago was even by 5 o'clock. It may be as late as 5 p.m. for some areas of the Tri-Cities to even see that transition take place for like Kingsport and some of the lowest elevations. Here's the latest update on those snowfall totals. Looks like 2 to 4, I would say 2 to 3 inches mainly in the highest terrain. For the Tri-Cities area, where you're going to see mainly rain setting up, you're going to have substantially less in Kingsport points west. Bristol's kind of that transition line. You eventually will see some snowflakes starting to mix in. I think Abingdon will have the better chance of maybe an inch of snowfall. Here's a look at your extended forecast. Temperatures in the 40s for Tuesday, a few morning clouds, partly sunny in the afternoon. Wednesday, a little bit milder. Get out there and enjoy it because it will pretty much be a mere memory by Thursday and Friday. And then, ooh, my friends, look at Saturday. I dread that. Okay, so yeah, we're going to be stuck in the upper 20s, and that does not combine the wind chill. Wind chills will likely be in the teens. That's what it'll feel like in the Tri-Cities, probably feeling colder than that during the daytime hours. Even in the mountains, wind chills being in the single digits and possibly feeling like below zero wind chills for the mountains, especially for those overnight temperatures. So 18 degrees Saturday morning in the Tri-Cities likely will feel like around 10, and wind chills in the mountains will be in the single digits, if not below zero. Anyway, so yeah, winter outlook, it is here, my friends. Anyway, tune in tonight on Fox 39 News at 10. We'll have more on the forecast then. And otherwise, I will see you all